morning to you all, my dear students. Today I would like to ask you that what is your dream to be in future? Some of you might be giving me the answer that you want to be a scientist, and some want to be a teacher, and some have the dream of being a pilot in the future, and some others have different views to be in the future, right? So here we'll be talking about the future time. Okay, and do you like to perceive the future events in advance? Yes, if we would be given the chance, definitely even I would be liking that. So I'm sure even you would be liking to perceive the things which are going to happen in the future. So here in our today's story, we'll be knowing about such kind of things which are going to be in the future, and there is ability to perceive the things. So do you feel so that is it a reality that can we perceive the future in advance? I guess the answer here is no, because if we would have been able to perceive the reality in advance, or we would have been able to shift the timings, then in that case definitely we would have been out from this adverse kind of situation which we are facing even right now, isn't it? So in my opinion, that time cannot be shifted. We are not able to move the timings. But here let's read out that what do we have in the story. Here the story is the title of this today's story is Into the Future, right? And it is the story by H.G. Wells, who is a science fiction writer who always writes about science fiction. And here, what is science fiction? Science fiction is related to some speculation, kind of the things which are related to your speculation. It has nothing to do with the reality. Have you watched the movie Jurassic Park? Some of you might have watched that. So what happened in that movie? You remember the story of that? Do you? I guess yes. So what was there in the story? The story again was related to science fiction, isn't it? So what was the message given by the story? That there is nothing in the fiction, that is, it is totally related to your speculation. Someone perceives or speculates or imagines the things in that manner, and which are nothing to do with the reality, right? So here, keeping the concept in the mind, we'll be reading this story by H.G. Wells. And this is the story in which he is there with two of his friends. So let's read out the story and find out that what happens in the story. My friends gathered around the machine in my workshop. So with this first line, we have got to know that this is the story which is related to self-narration. That is, the writer himself is narrating the story in his own words. It was exactly like the model I had shown them, only 20 times larger. So now here, what is the physical setting of the story? That it is the scene of his workshop. Whose workshop? H.G. Wells' workshop. So now he says that he shows his model to his friends, which he had already shown to them even more than 20 times. So which model? Definitely might have been related to some time, that is future, as we got the title. So let's find out. You mean you sit in that chair, pull that lever and travel into the future? Asked my friend the writer. So here his friend is asking him that do you mean that we can sit in the chair and then move on to the lever, and then after moving that, after pulling that lever, we can move on to the time? They are shocked to listen it. I mean, H.G. Wells' friends were shocked to listen that the time can be moved and then they can perceive the future, and then they can move to the time which is going to come in the future. So his friend asked him, and what was the profession of his friend? He was writer, as it is written, my friend the writer. Or into the past, I said, whichever I choose. So he says on his question that will they be able to move to the future? So he even replied that you can even move to the past, that is time can be changed whether past or future at this present time, right? So he says that it is in my hands, whatever I would be choosing, I would be able to move to that timings, whether in past or in future. And which would you choose? Asked my friend the psychologist. And there his another friend who was the psychologist, he asked that what time would you choose to move, past or future? The future first, I said. It is the unknown that interests me the most. Even I told you that I would be liking to see the future. I would be liking to perceive the future. So here H.G. Wells even says that he would prefer to move to future because it is hidden, it is unknown, and we would be more interested in knowing them. Past, we already know the events, so there is no need to move to the past. But when do we get to see it in action? Can we take a ride in it ourselves? They asked. So now his friends are asking that how can we do it, and can we do it by ourselves, like they will be able to do it on themselves, and then when they would be able to do it, right? So their question is when they will be able to do this in reality. Not yet, I said. I still have a few things to tinker with. Then I will be ready to go. So now the reply of H.G. Wells is, at this point of time, he is not ready with his model properly. That is, his model will not work properly. His time machine will not work properly at this point because he still has to put some more features in that time machine. So can you connect this time machine with the time machine of Doraemon? Do you observe that cartoon Doraemon, right? So Doraemon has the time machine which can take him to any of the time. So here you can connect it with this time machine of H.G. Wells, and you can find out on your own that whether this time machine can really work or not. So seeing my friends smile, I said, you may not believe me, but come to dinner here a week from now, and I promise to show you then that my time machine works. So now he observes that his friends are making fun of him, and then but still he replies him that please don't think that it is not the truth. It is going to be work in future. So I promise you that you come here in 1 week, and then in 1 week I would be able to complete this model, and after 1 week I invite you for a dinner party, and there I will show you this machine is working. After my friends left, I called in my housekeeper and asked her to cook the best dinner she could make for my friends next week. I also handed her a note to give them when they arrived. H.G. Wells instructs his maidservant to cook the best dishes for dinner the next week for his friends, and he also tells her that she is to pass on a note which would be carrying a message by H.G. Wells for his friends when they will be arriving for dinner. So what is his plan? That he would not be there at the moment when his friends would come for the dinner. So the maid servant would present the note to the friends of H.G. Wells, right? So then what happens? Let's read out. The note said that I was sorry not to greet them, but I promised I would join them before the evening ended. So now here, what was there in the note? What was there in the message for his friends? That he was apologizing that he is not there available at that moment, and then he would soon join them, right? And then before they would leave for their home, he would surely join them. Having given her these instructions, I set to work on the time machine. The work was very delicate, and I had to make sure that the size of the levers was just right to the smallest fraction of an inch. So now here, after giving the instructions to the maidservant, so what he thinks that he has quite short, he is running in short of time, and he is to do lot of works in that short period. So he decides that he would start working at that very moment, and then he thinks about that as the work was quite delicate, quite he is to be quite attentive for doing that work. So he was thinking that he is to make sure about each and everything, about those tiny things which could matter a lot. So now he is thinking about the size of the liver on the first hand. So he says that he is to keep the size of that liver a very small, that is it should be very small. The liver should be only around an inch, not more than that. So now he is focusing about the size of that liver. One liver was enough to start the machine traveling through time. Push the lever up and it went into the past. Pull it down and it went into the future. So now here we are getting the idea, as he was announcing his friends that it is in his hands whether to move in the past or to move in the future. So now he thinks that he would be setting one lever. So by pulling it up, he would be moving to the past, and by pulling it down, he would be moving to the future. The other lever was to stop it wherever I wanted. So now here he would put one more lever to stop the machine, right? One to start, one to stop. Or rather, whenever I wanted, because I would be staying in the same spot and only the time would change. So now he says that whenever I would be needing to come out of that time, only then I would be using the another lever, because at that very moment, at the physical setting, actually the time would remain the same. I had finished my work before 4 in the morning. Now only one thing was left to do to give the time machine its first test. So now after setting those two levers, one to start the machine and the another one to stop the machine. So now he had finished his work before 4 in the morning. That is, he could finish those things by 4 in the morning. And then now what was left? Only the thing was left that he was to check whatever he has done, whether it would work or not. So that is testing of the machine. I sat down in the seat of the time machine and looked at my watch. 19 minutes past 4. So now after sitting on his seat, so what does he do? He checks on the time on his watch. So now it was 19 minutes past 4. I held my breath and pulled the lever down a tiny bit. It felt as if I was falling through endless space, my stomach trying to squeeze into my throat, my mouth gasping for air. Quickly, I pulled the stop lever. So now, after pulling the lever down, so what is expected to be happen, that the time would travel, that is, he would move into the future, and even he admitted that he would prefer to move into the future because he would try to see the things which are still unknown, right? So then he what happened after pulling the lever down? He was feeling that as if he is traveling through space, and then as if his stomach is going to come out near his throat. That is, there is a bit narrow space between these two. Otherwise, it's a big passage there in between. And then his, mouth is demanding more and more air to breathe. So that was his situation in that condition. Quickly, what he did, he stopped the lever. Right? He must have pulled the another lever to stop the machine. I looked around me and my heart sank. My coat still hung over a chair. My tools were where I had laid them. My workshop was just as I had left it. My machine was a failure. So now what he sees after stopping the lever, he sees that everything was the same. Suddenly after pulling the lever into the stop mode, he was quite curious to see the things, so his heart was sinking at that moment. But what did he see? He saw the same things, the same physical setting of his workshop, the way he left in his workshop. So the condition was the same. There was no change in the things at all. So then he got to know that his machine is a failure. In the test, it got failed. Then I saw daylight coming through the windows and my heart started beating faster. The clock on the wall said 9:30. My watch read 21 minutes after 4. I had traveled more than 5 hours in just 2 minutes. The time machine worked. So now later what he sees, just now he observed that the things were as the same. So then he thought that the machine is a big failure, that it could not run over the time. So but as he pulled the lever a little bit, so then what did he observe later on? He observed the time on the wall clock, and the time was even more than that. So then he got to know that he had traveled even more than 5 hours in just 2 minutes only. Right? So now he got to know that his time machine is working. Right? I suppose I should have stopped then and planned my next move. But I could not wait any longer to journey through time. I pulled the lever down again and little harder than before. So now here again his curiosity is increasing, and now he is thinking that he need not any planning now for his next move. Without any planning, he again wanted to travel through time, and then he again pulled the lever down and he just put it even more harder than his previous attempt, so that he could even travel more than 5 hours. I saw my housekeeper whiz into the room and clean it in record time. It was clear that she could not see me. I pulled the lever further down and saw the window grow dark. Then it brightened, then it darkened again. Days went by like blinking lights. So now what is happening here? Here the days are passing like blinking of the lights. Why? Because he is running the time machine. He is observing the physical setting and the others are not able to see him. He even could observe that, as in his maid servant could not see him and she was busy in her household works. So now he says that the time was running faster. I pulled the lever down even more and everything around became a blur. The walls and window of my workshop vanished. The machine was swaying now. I wanted to pull the lever all the way down. I did. So now what he says, that again he pulled the lever down even more and everything was, whatever was there around him, everything was blurred. He could not see the things clearly. And then everything was foggy. The walls and windows of his workshop even vanished. They even were not in good condition. The machine was swaying now and he again now wanted to pull the lever and he pulled that lever again. Around me was a world of wonders with huge buildings rising taller and taller, skies changing from dark grey to bright blue, and a countryside that grew greener and greener. So now what happened after pulling that lever again and again? So now here he had moved to the even more moved more faster to the future, that is quite far off from the real time. So now he says what has happened now. There are bigger buildings in that time, and then what else is there? Huge buildings, and then now this color of the sky even is changed. And what is there? There is lot of greenery in the countryside. I looked at the dials of the time machine, which told me how fast and far I was traveling. I was shocked. I had gone much faster and farther than I thought. I was in the year 800 to 701 AD. So now here what had happened? He had moved to even the farthest place. Even he could himself not imagine that he would be able to travel that much far off from this present time. So now he is shocked to see the time in his watch, right? Those huge numbers made me lose my head and panic. I pulled hard on the stop lever and paid the price for it. The stop was too sharp and the machine tipped over. I was thrown from my seat. So now what happened? So now he is trying to stop the lever of the machine by pulling the another one. And now he says that he had to pay the price for it. That is, he had to face the music for it. That is, he has to face the result of pulling the lever. So now what happened? What was the result of pulling that? The stop was too sharp. He just stopped the lever so sharply that the machine even tipped over and he fell from his seat on which he was sitting. So now he was even panicked before that. Stunned, I lay on soft green grass. I heard a very loud thunderclap and a shower of hailstones stung my face. It was impossible to see. So now here he says that after getting down from his chair, so where he is on the green grass, where he was seeing that the countryside is quite greener. So he says that he was shocked to see the thunderstorm and the hailstorm. So now what is that? I mean, small cubes of snow. So then he was quite shocked to see them. A fine welcome, I muttered. A man travels over 8 lakhs years for a visit, and this is the greeting he gets. Then the hail thinned and the sun shone through a break in the clouds, and I got my first good look at the world of the future. So now here he says that I was welcomed in a very fine manner with that thunderclap and then hailstorms. And then he says that he could even travel 8 lakhs years, even more than 8 lakhs years he could travel. And he says that this was his greeting, that is, this was his award, right? And then he says that after that some time the hailstorm was thin, that is very less, and then the sun started shining from the clouds, and then he tried to see the future in his by his eyes, and the future of his dreams he could see here. So this was the story of the lesson into the future. I hope you must have liked it. Thank you and see you soon.